I'm gonna show you in the next few minutes what you can do to get at the top here, as well as here, also here, be recommended here, as well as here. In this video, I'm gonna show you the math behind 80% of the results when it comes to SEO and GEO. But let's just jump into the math here. Let me show you why these guys are here, okay? At the very top, just what is going on here with this keyword, right? When we look here, AM Electrical, LH Electrical, Birmingham Electrician UK, Abath Electrics, and Tech Fix Electric. Why are these guys ranking at the top of Google? And says, Alex, no, that's not right. At the top is these two guys. Yes, that is correct. And they are roundup companies, okay? Listing collections. They're not a comparable competitor if you are an electrician or you want to rank electricians, right? But basically, what I'm looking for is what are the comparable competitors, which in this case is these guys here, okay? I'm gonna ignore these, ignore that. Now, when you look at tools like Ahrefs, they will tell you big scary numbers like these ones here, or this one here. We're like, oh goodness, 132 referring domains. I am never going to catch up with these guys, right? Oh, 86 domains, I will never catch up. So let me show you why these guys here have all these points, okay? 8 link points here, 2 link points there, etc. And why these guys have 0, okay? Why are they ranking then? Well, you know, it's the power of an exact match. And difficult to beat exact matches, okay? But AM Electrical and Tech Fix Electrics, they have actual brand name domains, actually need links, which is what they have, which is why they're ranking. So let me show you real quick here what we're talking about points, right? And what's the framework that we use, okay? Why these guys have 0, okay? Because of traffic, that gives you the first letter of our framework here called TAR, the sticky stuff that's gonna make you stick at the top of Google, God bless, right? Where traffic is the first condition it went on, okay? A condition that if you don't have it, then it doesn't work. If the sites pointing to you don't have traffic, those links aren't really worth anything, okay? I'm not gonna score them anything. They're gonna get a big fat 0, okay? 0 equals no traffic, you know, okay, no traffic equals 0 points. If you have traffic, then it depends, okay? If the site is fully relevant, both website and page linking to you, right? The page within the website that ultimately this whole thing links to my fictitious electrician business here, Mayhan's Electrician Birmingham in a different life. I'm English and I run a business doing electrician work, right? Instead of being Spanish and doing SEO. Then this would be my brand. And if a link pointing to my brand is both relevant at the page level, the page has to do with either the location or the business or me. And the website has to do either with the location or the business or me, right? Then amazing, God bless, that gets me 2 points in this relatively simplistic relevance scoring system. Why? Because relevance is very freaking important. Actually, like, you know, you probably heard this in other SEO videos. If you haven't, then there you go, you get that, right? Relevance is a multiplying factor. Very relevant link is always better than irrelevant link, everything else being equal, right? The moment we start talking about like hyper relevant links that have 0 trust, then I don't care. Let's say this is my brand, and I'm analyzing those top 3 competitors. Unfortunately, one of them has nothing, so it dilutes the average, right? But my starting point, if I wanted to make some solid grounded decisions here, would be to look, okay, well, you know, what's the gap? Where am I? And what's the competition here? The competition doesn't have a lot of gap against these fictitious brands. Fantastic, okay? So at the domain level, I look at the top 3 competitors that look the most like me. At the keyword level, I look at exactly who is there. And I'm trying to understand really the layout of the SERP so that I don't think that I can get results that I can't. Checkatrade and Trusted Trader are the number 1 and 2, okay? For whatever reason, for this query, Google is loving listicles, roundups, consolidators, and is only placing an actual business at the top, which happens to be AM Electrical, which happens to have the strongest backlink profile of all the comparable competitors, right? Because links are, again, the 80-20 of this game. And in a very rare case, in a surprisingly rare case, we actually see links with exact match anchor text. This is extremely rare. If you see any of my other videos, okay, it rarely ever happens. So that's a nice surprise there. Here, some of these links actually have the exact keyword in the link itself, which you would think, well, duh, right? Obvious, this is what I want to rank for, right? I heard that links have to send relevance to the page that they point to, and you would be right, conceptually. However, it's most of the time not the case. See any of my other videos, you will see that this number is typically 0. And so in most niches, it's actually very unsafe to build links, just saying Electrician Birmingham, right? If that will be your keyword. And most of the time, what you're going to see is the brand name. So it will be something like amelectrical.com, multiple times. And then sometimes some partial match, so just electrician, things like that, electrical, right? In this case, we do see some more aggressive anchor text. Now, this is typically a bit unsafe, just saying, right? They seem to be doing fine. Let's look at the breakdown later. So now let's say we're looking at how much does it cost to rewire a house, okay? Where these guys are doing really well for that keyword. A great deal of nothing, okay? Checkatrade, yes, they do have an informational post there. So if I was to rank for this query, which I guarantee you will bring you through your funnel some conversions and some people looking to spend a truckload of money rewiring the entire house in Birmingham, then you would need a handful of links, okay? Do you need this many? Not really, okay? Why? Because you're not comparing against Checkatrade. You need as many as these guys have, which is nothing and nothing. So you put one or two, okay? You can put a couple of links there on the weaker side of the DR spectrum. And if you want to know what to put on those links, either put your brand name or put a partial keyword. Again, we see no exact. What about some of the other service related keywords? Okay, AM Electrical doing really good, ranking consistently. This is why I always recommend people when they get a report like this, which you can do in the description box of this video, to put the main most important term, right? Electrician Birmingham, but also to put like 3 or 4 other sub services that they offer and some sub locations if they have it. This is for local businesses, of course, for people in SaaS, e-commerce, etc. We're talking about your collections pages, all the other stuff. Watch my other videos. I cover tons of different niches. Every niche has its own unique mechanics, right? So for a niche like this, tons of different service and problems that you solve fundamentally, right? And any other service areas that you might cover. And what you're looking for is for competitors that rank consistently for multiple of these, because they're the guys that you have to replicate. And AM Electrical, for these cooker related services, they have actually acquired a couple of links. And again, unsurprisingly, they have links there at the top, even over this electric cooker installation.co.uk, the most exact match domain I've seen in a long time, which even with the exactest match domain ever, somehow with an inner page, though it looks like it's made a long time ago, they don't have any links, they don't rank. Access control, then we got a different type of query. Now we see very different type of competitors, okay? Sentry, fire, security, right? Because this is a lot more security related, right? So now we're seeing different type of competitors. So sometimes people say, hey, I want to rank for this query. It looks good. I've seen the traffic. We offer the service. When we get leads for this, it makes a lot of money. Okay, you have to look at the SERP, right? The Google results page. This is just a capture of the actual results with the math extracted. It's the same as you would see here, but instead of looking at these ugly numbers on a bar that don't have, any nuance, okay? Referring domain is 101, what does this mean, right? Then you will see in a case like this where, well, hold on, these don't look like me, right? So maybe you want to put one link there on a page like this and see what happens. See if you move from 11 to like 3, because maybe Google loves you. Maybe don't, right? You have to always look at your situation. And then when we go into solar panels, right? Okay, government side, let's ignore it. Birmingham Solar, let's ignore it. This is an exact match, right? We're screwed. EDF Energy, okay, branded, but they're in energy, DR77. Oof, do I want to put thousands of pounds here trying to build the backlink profile here, even though it says, oh, well, I don't need any links. Yeah. The math says that, right? But a careful observation of the situation will tell you that you need a ton of links, right? Because the only competitor you can actually go against is a DR77. You're not going to rank these guys. Very difficult. They're kind of like hard baked there, right? So what other things are going to influence who ranks? AM Electrical would be in this niche the competitor to replicate. We've seen that they don't have that very many links, okay, but they have some strong 8 DR60 plus links, one on the 50 plus range, a couple on the 40 plus, and a couple there, right? So in total, about 13 strong editorial mentions, right? Linking to your site, not just saying the name of your brand, but that's it. 13 really good links. Okay, doable. What about the pages? Just how many pages do they have? How many pages should you be publishing for all these services, different problems, which also matters so that you can make these guys happy, right? ChatGPT. What kind of content do we need? For that, let's look at these guys here. Birmingham Electrician, UK has just 10 pages, right? Terms and conditions, cost of rewiring a house, rewire referral scheme, okay? It's all very heavy on rewiring a home, which probably they don't need these many pages for that because the homepage is ranking for that. So they might have a bit of content duplication. That's something that you can take out of this video, right? When your homepage is targeting the keyword, the main keyword, cost of rewire a house, and then you have also here, and then the referral scheme, and then another one, and then another one for testimonials, right? All of these pages are trying to rank for this query. You're gonna enter into topic duplication, and you will struggle to stay at the top. Just going through one such case for one of our clients, right? Consolidating tons of stuff. What about amelectrical.co.uk? Okay, they have 42 pages where Google is actually sending traffic. Okay, heater repair, electric cooker installation, okay, heat battery, solar panels, different services, different things that they also serve, right? They also have some products here, right, that you can see, right? These I'm not quite sure it will be the way I would go with the content, right? These pages are quite difficult to rank, can create a bit of load, but it seems to be working for them. And when we look at Text Fix Electric, which was also doing pretty good, we see that they're ranking pretty strongly here. Okay, beautiful. Also for commercial electrician, coming up and down, right? Emergency electrician, high money term, they just have 27 pages. Different locations, kind of install my own electric, Oldbury, Dudley, different locations, right? This is a typical configuration. If you do it right, that's all you need to do. Now, if you want to do one last check to know just how strong this domain is, you come here to Ahrefs, right? And you're looking for the actual brand name, right? So amelectrical.co.uk, right? You're looking here through the entities. AM Electrical, bam, in the money. All right, 100 branded queries. Once we filter, let's see what shows here. AM Electrical, 100 queries. And see, okay, well, I appear 50 times a month, which means 50 people a month are looking for me. These guys, 100 people a month are looking for them. Okay, so they're gonna have that advantage. They have a heavier brand volume, and it is one of the signals that Google uses. So you have to maybe outdo them with link building. You have to maybe outdo them sending referral traffic from other sources, like running meta ads or running more Google ads, until eventually you start catching up there and your brand volume equalizes with them. So the things that you can do, like CTR manipulation and stuff like that, you can learn that in all the channels. I won't teach you tricks like that here, right? I want to stay very principled so you can make good choices. All right, so I hope you learned something good, something new in this video. If you like what you watch, give it a thumbs up, helps the channel tremendously, other people, and get to learn how to rank for their niche in the city. And if you want us to run a report like this for your brand, and you calculate exactly where are you at right now with your links, which ones are good, which ones are whatever, and just how far ahead are the competitors and how can you catch up with them quickly, you can go in the description box of this video and get yourself a report just like this. Speak with our team and we'll tell you. All right, I hope to see you in the next video and have a great one.